Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a fascinating stack of sources, including market analysis from David Abbott and organizational research by Christine Lorelei. And we're really looking at a very specific illusion today.
Oh, you mean the dashboard gap?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know that moment you walk into a boardroom and someone pulls up a massive, pristine Power BI dashboard.
Right, with the vibrant colors and graphs all pointing up and to the right. It looks like a machine running in absolute flawless harmony.
Yeah, but step out of that boardroom and talk to the people actually doing the work, and the reality is messy. It's trial and error.
Lots of putting out fires.
Right. I mean, we have to name it plainly. Most companies survive not through flawless visionary execution, but by simply muddling through.
Yeah, that is the reality for most of us.
So our mission today is to ask the real question. When does that muddling through stop being a resilient survival tactic and start becoming genuinely dangerous?
Well, to really get to the bottom of that, we have to look at the work of economist Charles Lindblom. Back in 1959, he wrote this seminal paper calling this behavior disjointed incrementalism.
Okay, what does that actually mean in plain English?
It basically means muddling through isn't inherently a failure of leadership. It's a documented pattern of how complex organizations actually function under uncertainty. I mean, the U.S. government has been doing it since 1959. You make small, pragmatic adjustments rather than executing some flawless master plan.
Wait, hold on. So Lindblom is saying that muddling through like government bureaucracy is actually a good thing. Because that sounds awful to anyone who's ever waited in a licensing line.
I know. But it's an advantage when you're navigating the unknown, because grandmaster plans often shatter on impact with reality. The real issue isn't that organizations muddle, it's whether that muddling is conscious and managed or unconscious and draining.
That distinction is huge.
Yeah.
And we see that unconscious, draining kind play out constantly here in the East African business landscape, especially with what Abbott highlights as the founder roadblock.
Oh yeah, that is one of the most painful patterns in Kenyan SMEs. You start a company and it requires this relentless hustle, right? That hands-on, figure it out as we go energy is exactly what gets the company off the ground.
But then the company scales, and the math just breaks down. As the business grows, the sheer volume of daily decisions multiplies. And if a founder still insists on being the ultimate bottleneck for, like, every single $50 expense report.
Because they fear losing control.
Exactly. They literally run out of hours in the day. The business physically cannot move faster than the founder can read.
Yeah, and instead of upgrading their thinking or their systems to handle that scale, they just add complex layers to manage the chaos. They want the illusion of control without the actual responsibility of delegating.
Which brings us to my absolute favorite corporate coping mechanism. Approval theater. Instead of fixing the system, you just pile on bureaucracy.
Oh, approval theater is brutal.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I remember consulting for a logistics firm right here in Nairobi where to get a $20 software license renewed, I had to physically walk a paper voucher to 3 different floors.
Wait, a literal physical piece of paper?
A physical paper voucher. I had to get a red ink stamp from finance and then wait for the quarterly IT steering committee to convene. Just for $20.
That is hilarious, but well, think about the actual cost of that theater. You are stressing control over traction. You are draining your staff's energy and making the business highly vulnerable.
And when a business is stuck in that quicksand, the collapse isn't usually some sudden explosive event, is it?
No, not at all. Abbott compares it to the fall of the Roman Empire. It's not dramatic, it's precise. The deterioration is a quiet, slow downhill descent.
Right, it happens long before it makes the news.
Exactly. It shows up in odd decisions and quiet contradictions between what leadership says and what they actually do.
An organizational researcher, Christine Lorelei, actually mapped out these early warning signs. They are eerily precise. She points out how failing companies disguise panic as evolution.
Right, so taking away a core feature isn't a downgrade, it's a bold test.
Yes, and watch the language shift. When a business is healthy, leadership talks about outcomes and measurable results. But what happens when performance slips? The numbers stop speaking for themselves.
So the language becomes abstract. They start emphasizing potential or tweaking mission statements and talking endlessly about long-term impact just to buy time.
Constant restructuring, disguised as strategic evolution. I want to read this slowly for everyone listening. Shifting pricing, rewriting rules, abstract language. Think about your own organization right now as you listen to this. Does any of this sound familiar? Because it really should.
And if it does resonate, it means your organization is likely in muddling through mode. And again, most are. The goal of this deep dive isn't to give you false optimism or pretend things are cleaner than they are.
Right? It's about early detection, honest diagnosis, asking different questions before that slow Roman Empire-style erosion becomes irreversible.
Yeah, and if your organization is ready to face reality and have those hard conversations, the team at aCatalyst actually works with leaders to navigate this. You can find them at www.acatalyst.co.ke.
Because a daily diet of unconscious draining muddling just isn't sustainable forever.
It really isn't.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought from Melinda French Gates. She has this brilliant piece of advice about leadership. She says the most crucial survival skill is keeping a mindset of continuous learning and staying genuinely open to change.
That is so true.
So take a hard look at your own daily operations. Are you genuinely learning and adapting to the messiness,